In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how you can work with storage accounts. So I have like 6 steps that I need to perform. First, I will need to create a storage account. Then I will create blob storage, file storage, queue storage, table storage, and finally, I will show you how you can monitor the storage accounts. So to create a storage account, I will go to the search box and I will type storage account. So then I will click on the create so that I can have access to the form where I will put in necessary information that will be part of the configuration of the storage account. So I need to supply informations like the subscriptions. Right now, the only active subscription is the pay as you go. Also, I need to select the resource group. Right now, I don't have any existing resource group, so I will create a new resource group. The storage account name would be storage 1759. Okay, storage 1759 is already taken. So let me change the name. Storage account 1759. So let's see. Oh, it's also taking. Okay. Then I'll say storage 1759 accounts. So let's see this. Yes, this is okay. Then for the region, I will use East US. So I'll leave it like that. Then for the performance, I will use standard, which is recommended for most scenarios like general purpose V2 account and so on. So I will leave it like that. And for the redundancy, I'll make it LRS. That is the locally redundant storage. So at this point, I'll click review plus create. So the validation is in progress, whereby we'll validate the information that I've supplied, and it's going to determine if the informations are in order or not in order. And if the information are in order, it's going to give me the blue button again. That's the create button that will allow me to now create the storage account. So I'll click the button now, create. So it's initializing the deployment. And once it's through with the initialization of the deployment, it will now start the deployment. You can see it's submitting the deployment right now. So once you submit the deployment, it will now begin to create the storage account. You can see now it's not deploying the storage account, and that's why it's saying here now that the deployment is in what is in progress. So this will take approximately, let's say, 2 minutes, and the storage account will be ready. So I will pause this video now, and I will be back once the storage account is ready. The storage account is ready, so I'll click go to resource. This will take me to the storage 1759 account resource, and from here I can see a lot of informations, that is overview or summary of this storage account, like the resource group that I selected, the location, the subscription, the dates that the account was created, the replication, the kind of account, and the performance. Then on the left side there, it gives me different types of advanced configuration that I can perform on this storage account. For example, if I want to add different types of storage now to the storage account, like tables, queues, file shares, storage account, I can go ahead and begin to add them. For example, I will start with the container. Container is another name for the blob. So since we have created the storage account now, and I will go ahead and click on plus container, this will give me opportunity to add a new container. So I'll call it container 1. It can be any name. I can give it any name. I just decided to give it a container 1. Then I will click create. And that is what I need to do to create a new container. So you can see that is the container 1. Now, what about the file shares? If I click here, I'll be able to create a file share on that existing storage account. And here is the place where I can do that. Like, I can click the plus file share now, then I need to supply the name of the file share. I'll call it file 1, and the access here is on transaction optimized now. So it will, but I can actually switch it to hot or cool. No, it depends. And I can go ahead now and click review plus create. Before I do that, I want to check what is on the backup tab. By default, it enabled backup for this file share, but I will check this box to disable that backup, because right now I don't need the backup. This is just for demonstration, and this demonstration has nothing to do with the backup. Configuration of backup, they are advanced topics as far as storage is concerned. So I'll click review plus create, and the same validation passed, then I will click create. So it's deploying the file 1 as well. You can see it said file 1 is successfully deployed, right? Look at it, it's there. What about queues? If I click on queues, I'll be able to do the same thing. I can call it Q1, and I'll click OK. That's the queue. I'll click OK, and that's the queue. So that's how to create the queue, and you observe the URL. So all these storage, like container, file, queue, table, they all have a URL that the user can use to access that storage. And this is how the URL is actually formed. For example, the first thing is the name of the storage account. Storage 1759 account. That's the name of the storage, right? Dot the type of the storage. In this case now is queue. If it is a file share, it will be dot file. If it's a container, it will be dot blob. And if it's a table, it will be dot table. Then followed by core.windows.net, which is the domain for Azure storage. And that is how it will form that URL. Now, I can now create multiple, queues. That's why it's now putting /Q1, Q2 based on the names or how many queues I want to create. So the same thing, if I go to tables now, I should be able to create a table, and I'll click on the table. I can call it table 1, and I'll click OK, and it's going to create the table for me. And also pay attention, the same thing that I said about the URL. Storage 1759 account, that is the storage account name. Dot table, that's the type of the storage. Then dot core.windows.net. And the table name that I created now is what? Table 1. That is how the URL, that's the uniform resource locator, is formed. So this is the same thing for all the storage account type. Now, the last thing I need to show you now is how you can monitor your storage account. But before I do that, let me just use this storage container to demonstrate how you can actually upload a file into the container. It's very easy. Like the container now, all I need to do now is to give access to a user to have access to this container. And there are several ways I can do that, but it is beyond the scope of this training. But for instance, if the person have access and he can see this now, it will just click on this, and from here, he will just click on upload, and the person will now go now and browse any file of his choice, and he can now, put the file in the storage. But here are additional things that you can set, like the type of the blob, the size, the tier, and so on. So you can now click the upload so that you can upload the image into the container. And here is the image. So if I right click on this image now, there are other information that I will see, like I can view or edit the image, I can download the image, I can view the version, I can generate a token for the image, and so on and so forth. Let's now talk about the storage account monitoring. So I will go back to the storage account, that's storage 1759, and the first place I will go is diagnose and solve problem. In this diagnose and solve problems is like a quick start for you to learn how to resolve common issues that are relating with storage accounts. For instance, if you're having issues with authentication and authorization, you can troubleshoot it here. These are common problems. And if it's about connectivity, you can solve it here. Is it about firewall and networks? Is it about data migrations? This is one place whereby you can monitor your storage account. You can troubleshoot issues when it comes to your storage account. Now, aside this place, if you go down to the monitoring section, you can monitor your storage account using the insights under the monitoring section. And from here now, you can see the transactions. This is the overview. Availability is 100, transaction 84, and so on. Also, if there are any failure, you will see it there. Performance, availability, and capacity. These are the things you will see under that insight. And if you want to create alert, for instance, maybe you want the system to alert you when certain things are going on. So you can come here to create alert rules so that you can be notified when important monitoring events happen on your resources. We also have something like metrics, where you can actually configure something that can help you to gather information. So because when it comes to analysis, Azure deal with metrics and logs. So you can configure your metrics, you can decide to say, okay, this is the area I want to concentrate on, and you can configure everything from there. Diagnosis settings is another thing you can see under the monitoring section. So we can also see logs under the monitoring section. So these are the different things that you can do, or different places you can come to monitor your storage account. When it comes to configuration, it is beyond the scope of this training. So what we have done so far in this demonstration is that we have created storage account, then we created on top of the storage account the fourth type of storage: the container, which is also called blob, the tables, the queues, and the files. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing to this channel. Please, let me know what you think in the comment section. And do not forget to leave a like and share this video. See you in the next one.